So this is the second information webinar for Mongolia Field School. So last time we mostly talked about general information of our field school, and our school instructors, actually course instructors, provided information on their courses specifically. So this time on this second information session, we will mostly generally provide information on this application process and general information and some logistical areas. Also, at the end of this information session, we can have a live Q&A session, so you guys can just go ahead, ask questions if you have any questions related to field school in terms of application process and or logistics. So my name is Tushinzaya. I'm a program manager at the American Center for Mongolian Studies. So now I'll go ahead, share my screen and start the presentation. Okay. All right. Hope everybody see the slide. Okay, so we have started our Mongolia Field School in 2019. So in this year, in 2023, it's gonna be our third in-person field school. So due to the COVID situation, we were not able to organize field school in 2020, 2021, 2021 for 2 years. So luckily we're back. So okay, so let's start with the little introduction of our center. So American Center for Mongolian Studies was founded in 2002, and Ulaanbaatar office actually opened in 2004. So we do have full-time staff in Ulaanbaatar with the 5 staff, and our executive director is Paula Tsitsikminchu. She's based in New York, in United States. So we basically support all scholars. It doesn't have to be all just Americans. It's going to be all international ones who are studying in Mongolia or scholars in Mongolian studies. So we are also called Academic Embassy in UB, with the international Mongolian staff who help visiting and local scholars to research work and build resources and connections and networks. So if you want to know more information about our center, you can visit our website, www.mongoliacenter.org. So apart from our Mongolia Field School program, we also have other fellowship programs, for example, field research fellowships, and we also offer Mongolian language program. And also we do have some publications such as This Month in Mongolian Studies. So if you're registered, we would send you This Month in Mongolian Studies monthly basis. So also we do host regularly conferences and also speakers series. So at this right now we are hosting our speaker series online and also in person format. So let's start with our field school overview. So it is, like I said before, it started in 2019, also then again 2022. Now this year it's going to be third year. So even though we could not organize the field school back in 2021 in person, we had this series of online field school classes were also offered. You guys can also visit our website and you can find the online courses over there. So this year for 2023, we are offering 3 courses in 2 sessions. So participants can take one individual course or take 1 course in each session, which means you can apply for 2 courses in 2 sessions. And all courses will start and end in Ulaanbaatar and include significant field component in the Mongolian countryside. So let's say, for example, if we have 2 weeks of course, like first 2 days would be orientation days, and at the end of the program, we will have also wrap-up day. So which means majority of the time you guys would spend your time in the countryside majority of the time. And okay, and then field school is of course open to all participants from any country, including undergraduate, graduate student, and teachers in the faculty, lifelong learners at any age. If you're adult, like in over 18, you can just simply participate our field school. So from our last experience, we have this pretty good dynamic between our participants because they are pretty much from all over the world, like from different countries, also of course Mongolian participants as well. And then okay, Molly, sorry, a little bit of technical issue. Okay, so basically course will have approximately 20 participants, international and Mongolian participants, and of course language of instruction is going to be in English, so you don't need previous experience in Mongolia or field studies. So participants are responsible for making their own travel arrangements to and from Ulaanbaatar. But of course, definitely we can help with these arrangements. And also flights this summer, as everybody know, are expected to increase, and also train travel from China may be also available. And during the program, ACMS will make transportation, accommodation, some meal arrangements for the group as we will together as a class. And okay, let's move on to next slide. Okay. Okay. As I said before, this year we are offering 2 sessions with 3 courses. Session 1 will be from June 2, June 15. The course name is Discovering the Sonic World of Mongolian Countryside. Session 2 will be from June 19 to July 4th, Mongolian Buddhism, Nature and Conservation, Climate Change and Public Health. So regarding these 2 courses in a session 2, actually we initially offered this course back in 2020, but has been delayed due to COVID situations, and fortunately we are so glad that we are offering these courses again, and thank you for those folks who actually first applied for this session back in 2020 and still interested and committed to this courses. So we will be happy to meet you this summer. So, and of course you can take 1 course in either session, or if you want to take 2 courses, you can take 1 in session 1 and 1 in session 2, which means like if you choose Discovering Sonic World, you can just next time you can go ahead apply for one of the courses from session 2. As these 2 courses are like being offered simultaneously, of course you can't apply for both of them in session 2. You will have to choose one of them. Okay, and then let's move on to next slide, which is tuition and fellowship. So tuition for the program for all the international participants is going to be $3,500. It will cover program costs in Mongolia, including meals, housing, transportation, instructions, and site visits. And for tuition fee for Mongolian participants, it's going to be 1.2 million Tokruk, which will cover program costs in Mongolia, but housing just only outside of Ulaanbaatar, which means that just the countryside part, and of course transportation, instruction, and site visits. And we also are offering scholarship and fellowships for our participants as well. So when you apply, you can also at the same time apply for this fellowship as well. And also we, like I said before, we had some participants from back in 2020. Some people deferred their, attendance and the fellowship. So we're gonna honor all the past fellowships to those participants. And the prior deadline has been extended, as you may or may not know. So now it's March 30. So if you apply by prior deadline, you will be considered for the fellowship. But for the final application deadline is April 30. And once we offer the fellowship, that's going to be the final offer. And if you also not offer the fellowship, of course, you can always be encouraged to apply for the funding from other sources, for sure. Okay, and then we'll move on to next slide. So we cannot directly offer academic credits, but these courses are designed to equivalent to 3-credit university course. So those people who want to receive academic credit for the participation, we would encourage you to talk with your home institutions, and every institution has their certain requirements, and of course we will provide the additional information or support materials to meet the requirements. Also, we can provide the syllabi of each courses. So you can just simply send email to us and let us know what you need from us to get this academic credits from your home institutions. And we will now move on to the next part, which is the application process. So application process, if there will go through the process, and also if there were any questions related to the application process, we can address it at the end of this information sessions. So application process information will be provided by our communication coordinator, Boka, and I will move it to Boka.
Hello, my name is Boka. I'm the communications coordinator at the American Center for Mongolian Studies. And today I'm joining to go over the application process. So the application, Tusha already went over the details, but we have two deadlines, priority deadline and final deadline. Priority deadline is if you apply by the last day of March, you will be given a priority consideration for fellowship awards. And of course, we have the final deadline. And for fellowships, what we look at is the specific need, the diversity, and of course, merit. That being what you're planning to do, your future career goals, and all that. We will take into consideration those informations, and the review board will make a decision on whether or not to give any specific person a fellowship award. But of course, everyone who applied by the priority deadline will be given consideration to these. However, in special cases, we may consider those applications requesting fellowship who have applied by final deadline. But you will have to make the case for it. Now, the application is online. You go to our website and click on the Mongolia Field School page. And if you scroll down, there's a button. Once you click, you'll be directed to our online application form. Now, it is pretty straightforward. You give your details, your name, your contact information, which specific course you would like to join. As Tusha mentioned, you can apply for 2 courses, but one of the courses will be in session 1, and the other course will be in session 2. Now, everyone will have to upload a statement of interest, experience in remote areas, and resume or CV. Now, in your statement of interest, you are really answering 2 questions. So those would be your background, why you're interested in applying in Mongolia Field School. And the second question will be what you'll be getting from participating in the Mongolia Field School. So what that means is if you have given thought to your future career, or you're just learning, if you're a lifelong learner, maybe you're just interested in travel, you just give those details in your statement of interest. And the second document, file you need to upload on our website is the experience in remote areas. Now, because Mongolia Field School spends a substantial amount of its time in the countryside, so outside the city, certain amount of, if you have experience in traveling in remote or rural areas, all those will be useful here. And that means that not all amenities that you typically have in the cities will be available in remote areas. And CV and resume is quite self-explanatory, so you just upload your latest updated resume or curriculum vitae, and those will be the 3 required documents from everyone who is applying. If you are also requesting a fellowship, then you need to upload a document describing your financial need, diversity among other participants. Perhaps you have a barrier to participation. Perhaps participating in Mongolia Field School will be important in your career, in your studies, etc., etc. So, any kind of reasoning that will qualify you for a fellowship award. Now, there is also an optional document that you can upload, and that would be a letter of reference. And letter of reference can be given from an academic referee, such as a faculty member or your professor, like a professor or a lecturer, someone who knows your academic or institutional background. And if you are uploading a letter of reference, these letters of reference should have a university or institutional letterhead with logos and contact details of the university. And of course, the person giving you a reference must also include their own contact information, and they will have to recommend you for Mongolia Field School. It is an optional document, so you don't have to upload it, but if you have it, it will certainly be help, and perhaps it will also make your case for a fellowship award more convincing. And that's basically all I have for the applications. The application will, once we receive your applications, the review board will carefully consider all of the applications, and if your application is good, then we will send out an acceptance email to the people who have been accepted. And of course, all fellowship award decisions will be sent out after the priority deadline. And that's all I have for you. I'm giving it back to Tusha.
Okay, thank you so much, Luca, for providing information on the application process. And as I said before, at the end of this information session, we will have a Q&A. So if you have any direct question related to the application process, we can also answer those questions as well. Okay, okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is safety and health in Mongolia, so including COVID planning. So, of course, we are monitoring situation right now. So at this point, travel restrictions related to Mongolia are all, lifted. So Mongolia has high vaccination rate and many people are boosted already. And so I think we think that there are no disruptions this summer of 2023 travel is anticipated. And of course, all travelers should study travel restrictions in place at the time of travel, all countries visited. And as of now, China is reopening international flights. And of course, the border with Mongolia has reopened. And we have multiple flights from international locations. So mostly through Seoul, Istanbul, or Beijing. And we have a developed safety and health risk management plan for the program, and we will make final determination for the program by May 1st, 2023. And of course, all deposits refundable if the program is cancelled, but we are pretty sure that it's not going to be cancelled. And all international participants are required to have a travel insurance plan to participants, but ACMS will support those participants to find and access appropriate medical care in Mongolia. But of course, the costs of the care are the responsibility of the participants. So now let's move on to the next slide, which is the fun one, which is the field travel in the countryside. So basically, like you see on these pictures, we will travel a lot, but we will travel different locations, and we will stay in a gear camps most of the time. But during Ulaanbaatar city stay, international participants will stay in a hotel. But in the countryside, most of the time we will stay in a gear camp, traditional Mongolian settlement in a gear. And for the transportation part, we will basically have most of the time the road will be paved. So, but the small portion of the travel, we will have some dirt road, and we will have the vans and also jeep for the transportation part. And in 1 week we will have approximately 5 to 6 people in one vehicle, and we will have plenty of opportunities to visit the nomadic families, and of course to see beautiful views. Those all activities are in our itinerary. You can go to see more information on that part. And to the next slide. Of course, some people might worry about some logistical part when you're traveling, like in Mongolia, especially on the restroom, etc. So for the camps that we are staying, gear camps, we will have a flush toilet, and in one camp we will have a bio toilet, and of course we would get access to the showers and everything. So you don't need to worry about that. And for the next slide, this is the roadmap to session 1 Sonic World course. So it's gonna be central part of Mongolia in Arkhanga province, and Tsitsirzig, which is the 550 kilometer from the Ulaanbaatar. So basically, the participants, also the applicants who are interested in this course, You will stay in one place most of the time, majority of the time in the same place, but of course you will have a small portion of the travels there according to the itinerary, like just to visit some small areas, like some areas like in a 30 kilometers. So it's not going to be that long trip. And for the session 2 for Mongolian Buddhism and public health class, so here's the map. You're gonna start your trip from Ulaanbaatar to Amurbaysagland, which is the northern part of Mongolia. It is 400 kilometers away from the city, and from there you're gonna visit to Erden, another 140 kilometers. And from Erden, you will go to Erden fishing camp, which is from Erden and 370 kilometers. So you will spend the majority of the time over there in Erden. So it's a really gorgeous, beautiful place. And from on the way back, you will go to Bolgan province and visit the Ogi Lake. And from Ogi Lake, you will go to Karakoram. From Karakoram to Tushinzaya and get back to Ulaanbaatar on the very last day. So this is the road map. It's going to be, most of the road will be, like I said before, it's going to be paved road. And yes, and I'm sure that this trip will be really good combination of educational part and also, the tourism part as well. So we're gonna visit very beautiful, gorgeous places, do a lot of activities related to your course specifically, and you will have opportunity to visit the certain areas, certain institutions, and also you might have some opportunity like riding a horse. Like, of course, it's gonna be optional thing. We will make sure to have make sure about that everything is safe. We should consider safety as well, and just to at the end of the day, it's gonna be a really good experience. Okay, and then I would love to talk about some service and assistance to our participants from ACMS. First of all, of course, we do have this airport transfer service. So, of course, the participants who are arriving at the similar times had an option to split the cost, and we do on the website we do have a. You can go to our website and just book our airport pickup and drop-off service there. And also we do have an Ulaanbaatar office. We have library, and we have over 5,000 books in English in Mongolian studies, almost everything related to Mongolia. So, for example, when you go out to the field, like, you can check out books from the library and read it and give it back. And for the international participants who are staying, if you're planning to stay longer than 30 days, especially the ones who are participating session 2, this session will end July 4th. So you might want to stay here a few more days and to, experience Mongolian traditional festival, Naadam festival. So if that's your, plan, we would recommend you to, register with immigrations, so we can totally help with this process for the immigrations. And of course, like I said, if you want to stay longer and if you want to come earlier from before the program, we will provide some logistical support and assistance to you to booking your hotels or finding a tour on like something like that. And also at the library, we do have computers, so we can simply use our computers, and also we do have Wi-Fi access. And next one is to assistant to get a Mongolian SIM card. So majority of the time, especially in the city, you will have access to Wi-Fi in most of the public places like restaurants and hotels. But in the field, in the countryside, you might get the Mongolian SIM card with the data. So that is tourist SIM card, which is really simple, cheap. So we can totally help you with the get the SIM card. And also, if you are from any country that you need visa to into Mongolia, we can help with the visa processing, like to provide support letter. So just let us know if that's your case. And then for the next slide, I'd love to share some infographic with you guys from our last field school 2020. So from here, we offered 2 courses last year, and you can see participants number, location where we went, and you can also see participants by age and nationality and occupations. From here, you can see that it was a really great dynamic. It was great mixture of the participants. So to the next slide, I would like to also share some great feedback from the participants. So as you see on these comments and the feedbacks, that our field school is definitely the program for who want to broaden their horizon in a different field, to get to know the people in their field, or to make new friends internationally. So it's gonna be a really good experience. So hope these feedbacks will help you to decide and join in our program, and we hope that we will see you guys this summer, and you guys will have a wonderful experience through our program. So it's pretty much the end of our presentation, and if there are any logistical questions or application process questions, you guys can put it in the chat box, or you can just simply ask, unmuting your microphone. So if you have any questions, please go ahead. Also, if you want, you guys can also in the chat box leave where you are connecting from. So, as you know, we will have international participants. So we would like to know which country we're gonna have participants for this year. So, of course, there are some participants even from last year. So we have a number of participants who are joining with us this year again from the last year. So, and yeah, please let us know if you have any questions.
Usha, we have
sure.
a couple of questions coming in through email. I can read them out. So the first question is, how many days will we be sleeping in a yurt? So of accommodation. I think you already alluded to in your presentation, but please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. It really depends on which course you are applying for, which course you are participating. So if it's session 1 for Sonic World class, so for the first 2 days, orientation days in the Ulaanbaatar. So first 2 days will be in a hotel, and the last day when you got back from the the field, it's going to be also in the hotel. So the rest of those 10 days would be in a gear camps. For if it's session 2, it's gonna be a great mixture of gear camps and a hotel. So we'll have 3 days in a hotel in Ulaanbaatar city and 2 days in hotel in Erdenet city, and the rest of the time we will stay in a gear camps.
I see. So 10 days for the first session, and then for session 2 courses, you'll be traveling in and out of different cities in Mongolia. So you will also be staying in yurts as well as hotels other than in Ulaanbaatar. And we have a question from the audience. When will the link to this session become available for others to view? Okay, I think I can answer that question. So We will upload the session by the end of tomorrow, so it will be available for others to view. So tomorrow Ulaanbaatar time is Friday. So in America, it will be available to view by Friday morning. In Mongolia by Friday evening. Okay, and there's another question. I'm wondering if you guys are aware of any previous partners for outside funding. I think this relates to the fellowship or travel funding. And of course, we offer fellowships, but if you're not eligible or if you would like to find different funding. So that's the question. Tusha, has there been any other party, has any of the past previous participants have found different source of funding?
Right. So as we are aware, most of the time, those fundings are from the home institutions, most of the cases, to support them. So, for example, we had some lifelong learners, of course, and also we had some, the faculty members. So they would just request additional funding from the home institutions. So we have not heard, unfortunately, anything specific like, the places or institutions that they received the funding. So, but we are planning to come up with the lists of potential, funding institutions that you guys can apply, and we will put it on the website shortly. So from there, maybe you guys can get some ideas.
Okay, thank you, Tusha. Another question from the same person. If defined by the original deadline, when should we expect to hear back? So I think it is meant as the original priority deadline. So
yes,
when should people expect to hear back?
So if you meant acceptance email, so you should have heard the reply. We have already sent out acceptance emails, but if you meant the fellowship, so it's gonna be by after the current deadline, which is March 31st.
Okay. The next question is, so there are two courses in section 2. Do they follow the same route or are they different?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So for the session 2, we have 2 courses. So we will have the same, route for the 2 courses. So you will have a great opportunity to talk and, meet with the new pupil from the different course. So, but these are different courses, but I will go through the same, the route.
So they follow the same road and route, but the topic and content.
Yeah, yes, content and course activities will be different. Yes.
Another question from the emails: the stations in the countryside, will they have showers? Will they have bathrooms?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, each camp in girl camps will make sure that you guys will have the access to the showers and the restroom and everything is fine. Yes.
What will the restroom look like? Would that be an outhouse or?
So, well,
modern.
It's not modern, I would say, but it's going to be flush toilet. So.
Okay, so there will be.
And just in one location for session 2, it would be the bio toilet. So outhouse, but the bio toilet.
Okay. Yes. Another question from the email is that if I'm a vegetarian, will there be what are the options for vegetarians?
Yeah. So when you are confirmed to join our program, we'll send you the survey and to collect information on certain parts logistically. So one of them would be the dietary restrictions. So through that form, you can provide your detailed information on your dietary restrictions. So we'll do our best to accommodate all the dietary restrictions.
Okay. So very limited options outside the city, you would say?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Another question from the email states, so I think this is a question about the program schedule. So the person asks, will there be a private time, a sort of alone time, and I think this next question also relates to this. Is there an option for a private room at any time during the field school?
Yeah, we'll consider that to give some, free time and like alone time for our participants. It's not always going to be lesson or it's not always going to be packet. So we will provide some, free time for our participants. So also if you meant the alone, like in terms of the accommodations, like for example, if you want to stay in a, single room or one garret, we can accommodate that, but with the extra charge. So program covers the accommodation of an intervened occupancy for the hotel rooms and the 3 to 4 people in this one gear. That's the basic.
Okay, so in hotels, the participants will have a roommate, and in the countryside, the participant will have a girl mate or your mate, if you will. But if you would like, you can get a private yurt or a hotel room with additional charge. As for the alone time, I think you said that there will be some time to rest and recharge for the participants. Yeah. Another question from the audience. Could you say something more about the course Buddhism, Nature and Conservation? Is this course more about Buddhism or environment?
So this course is mostly really intersection between Mongolian Buddhism, shamanism, and environmental conservations. So I would say it's both of them. So the course will cover the history and philosophy of Mongolian Buddhism, and also class will explore Buddhist influences upon current direction in ecological thought and practice in Mongolia. So the goal of this course is to really familiarize participants with Mongolian Buddhism's unique narrative as well as its role in the current ecological crisis.
I see. So it will be a very nuanced approach to viewing religion and its relations with nature.
Yes.
Does anyone else have a question?
Also, this will be recorded and posted on our website and other Facebook and social media platforms as well. So you can review and listen again later for sure. And also most of the anytime if you have any question, you can just simply send email to us, mfs@mongolia.org. We'll be happy to answer. Also, we can provide the email addresses. It's also already on the website of each course instructor. So you can directly contact to them as well if you have any questions related to the content of the course specifically.
Also, one of the course instructors, Rebecca, has dropped a line in the chat. If you'd like to talk more about, or if you want to know more about the Buddhism class, you can reach out to her email, which is rebecca@nrccooperative.org.
Right.
Also, for travel and immunization, I wanted to add that embassies or their foreign ministries usually have travel recommendations for a specific destination countries. So, for example, the United States Department of State would have a travel recommendation if you are going to Mongolia, which would also include what types of immunization vaccines other than COVID vaccine you should have. I think you should, if you're traveling from United States, you should definitely check that out. If you're traveling from other countries, you should check out the websites of your Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or if your country has an embassy in Mongolia, check out the embassy websites as well. They should have a recommendation on traveling to Mongolia, well, besides our own recommendations. And if no one else has questions, like Tusha said, we are recording this webinar. We will edit it and upload it on our websites and our social medias. It will be available to view. As soon as it is uploaded, I will send the link to everyone who has signed up. And thank you for joining us today. And have a good rest of the day or evening.
Yeah. We would also put a link to our previous information session as well. So in the previous information session, the course instructors went through their itinerary and provided really great information on their courses. So you can also review that information session video as well. Also on our website, we can also include a link as well that we do have a frequently asked question part. So there you might find some other answers as well from there too. So thank you so much everybody for joining for today's information session, and we hope to see you this summer in Mongolia. So we're so excited. So the deadline is extended, so you still have a chance to get considered for the fellowships. So we wish you all the best and luck. So, and if there's any issues related to the application process, technical or any questions, just let us know. We'll be happy to answer. So thank you everybody, and hope to see you this summer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.